Okay, that's my question.
It was a shame that she died for his sins.
Now, because now your mom comes to you and says, okay, St. John, I need you to come with me. She told you to go pay off money?
No, I insisted on going with her.
Okay.
She got a phone call. She was going to the Potomac Village about 2-3 miles from our house at a specific set time. And it was at 11 p.m., and she got there, and the phone didn't ring. So she came back by around 11:30, and she was visibly upset because it was another instance where, money wasn't going to be delivered, and their ironclad word seemed to be slipping more and more. And just, out of protection, I guess, I insisted on going with her. And so we went to the phone booth and waited again. And the plan was that if the phone call would come at 11, then go at 12, And so I went and sat in the car with her in the pitch black, quiet, not a sound. And it was really eerie and spooky, kind of frightening.
Did you have a gun on you?
She did have a gun. Yeah,
did you have a gun?
The Pearl-Hemp 22 or 25 that she'd gotten years before when she was doing intelligence work for CIA in Calcutta and Shanghai.
Did you have a gun?
No.
Oh, okay. And how much money were you?
I would have had a bong, but not a gun.
Okay. And how much money were you going to pick up? Do you know?
Well, no, I don't know actually how much she. I don't think she even knew. I mean, there were set amounts that were supposed to be handed over, but it seemed to be coming short. But of course, I had a lot of money, or I had put away a lot of money that in the first few days after Watergate, on the instructions of my father, went down to Riggs Bank in Georgetown and covertly met him there, and he guys a little bit, and I had a blue navy jacket on, navy blue prep school type jacket, and he grabbed this envelope from the safety deposit area in his box, and it was stat, and he said, loosen my belt, and I stuffed it down the back in my back and put my jacket over it, and he told me where to put it. We had a prearranged stash in our house, and I did so. And then one afternoon, when my mother came back from, I can't remember where she was in the book, but I told her about it, and she goes, well, let's have a look. So we pulled it out from where it was, and there was more than $200,000 in this envelope. That's outrageous. I was like, oh my God, she handed me $5,000 or $6,000. She goes, here, go buy a van, get out of town.
Right.
She told me to leave to get out of town and go on a drive around the country, go see the country.
Now you think
so? That's when I had a gun, because there's a chapter in my book called "Hippie with a Shotgun," and I had a shotgun to defend me and my girlfriend from redneck Texans.
Now, when your mom was going to pick up this money, and they kept backing out at the last second, is it because they were siphoning off money and putting it in their own pockets? You think? That's certainly possible. Although, the guy who would leave the money and the keys, to reach under a phone booth and get a key, and then the key would belong to a certain locker, and all this kind of spy stuff. I think he was kind of above suspicion. He was a New York cop. I don't know. Nixon seemed to trust him. He was actually doing investigations for Nixon before the plumbers. So the plumbers kind of stepped into his area. But what was his name?
He was such a strange little man. I forget his name offhand. I'm looking for it in this book right now. He did write a book called The President's Spook, I think it was called. A little Jewish New Yorker type ex-cop who became a private eye and ended up working at the White House. So I don't know if they were taking money out of it, but I think there just wasn't the money that Nixon had promised, and certainly Colson had promised. There's a recording of Colson and talking to my dad, and Colson's acting all like aloof about everything, like, oh, I don't know about that,
Right.
My father's trying to, tell him in no uncertain terms, like, you better get your shit together because this is getting serious, and I'm not going to just hang out here to twist in the wind. And Chuck Colson
being very aloof and acting non-committal about anything. I texted Chuck Colson before he died. When my father died, we got a hold of each other and asked him. Yeah, he made a statement to Time magazine in 1974, I think, saying that he felt that the CIA had killed Dorothy Hunt. And I asked him about that because that's about the time that I started really thinking about the Dorothy thing. And he just stated that he wasn't going to go into it, but he stood by his feelings that the CIA were responsible for her death. Certainly there's been hundreds of people who have died for less. I mean, here, the president being threatened, and I guess, my mother realized it was a losing game, but she kept playing it.
Couple of quick questions, and I got to take a commercial break. One is, did you ever meet Nixon?
No, I had one opportunity to go to a White House function with my father and mother, and I was, in my hippie days, I was marching in the streets and all of that, which so I didn't go as a non-aggressive way to to say I don't want to be any part of Nixon and his Vietnam policy and stuff. My dad was furious with me. He just couldn't believe it.
But your mom has been to the White House and met Nixon.
I'm pretty sure she must have. He didn't have a lot of functions where Hunt was around, but I know that there was at least the one that I knew about. So I would imagine that in some social gathering very quickly, she got to meet him.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a little commercial break here. We're with the St. John Hunt. He's the son of Watergate burglar and confessed JFK hitman E. Howard Hunt. He's just written a book called Dorothy, An Amoral and Dangerous Woman, The Murder of E. Howard Hunt's Wife, Watergate's Darkest Secrets. Now, St. John Hunt is also going to be at this seminar coming up in New Orleans, the Oswald Summer of Secrets, New Orleans and the JFK assassination on October 16th to the 18th. Yeah, just imagine if you go down and you get a hold of, you grab St. John Hunt by the arm there, get him a couple of drinks in him.
Give me a couple of drinks and a meal and I'll talk.
Yeah, right? I'd say I'm tempted to go down and meet all you guys.
I'm cheap.
Yeah, and so this is going to be, it's at the Crown Plaza Hotel Airport in Louisiana, October 16th to the 18th. So put on by Chris Milligan from Trine Day Press. And by the way, too, we're going to have a little contest. Chris said he's going to give away some books. He's going to give away one of St. John's books. So we'll do a little call-in at the end of the show. We'll be right back after these messages with more of St. John Hunt, son of E. Howard Hunt and Dorothy Hunt. And now, a word from our sponsors. Pacific West Bamboo, your premier source for sustainable building material. They provide construction-grade and craft-grade bamboo material for all your indoor, outdoor, and gardening needs. Contact them for event planning and display building as well. 503-839-8126. Or you go to their new website, pacificwestbamboo.com. Or you can contact them on Facebook at Pacific West Bamboo. That's 503-839-8126. Amanda from Pacific West Bamboo was our first sponsor. She's been so good to us, so please support her in return. I want to make everybody aware of our new members section at www.oppermanreport.com. You can go there and sign up for a monthly, quarterly, or yearly subscription. You can even purchase episodes one by one. You get full access to brand new original content, new guests, new uncensored interviews, my own investigations and reports, and we're going to be adding sections with documents, images, police reports, either provided by myself or by my guests, or for my own investigations, my own reports. So you can go to oppermanreport.com and you can sign up there tonight. You can start listening tonight. Strawman. I want to mention Strawman. Strawman is a band out of Toronto, Canada. They're good friends of the Opperman Report. They're a trio of guys who share the same mindset most of us here do, and they put that energy into their words and music. So check them out at strawmanmusic.com and drop them a line to let them know that you heard them here on the Opperman Report. We'll be doing an interview with Sean Duffy soon. You can get an autographed copy of my book, How to Succeed as a Private Investigator, by visiting my PI website, emailrevealer.com. We also offer a computer and cell phone forensics. We can recover deleted text messages to uncover infidelity. We offer asset searches, locates, email tracing, background reports, and we can even trace your spouse's email address back to internet dating websites to catch them cheating online. You can reach us at 800-572-9762, or you can email me at emailrevealer@aol.com. New World Mexican Women. Everyone loves the New World Mexican Women, and their line of fine, handcrafted, authentic Mexican jewelry of stone mosaic and abalone stone inlay. In their first book, titled New World Mexican Women, available on lulu.com, they teach you how to make this jewelry, and they have a collection of love letters to their men from their hometown that have immigrated to the United States to find work. They have also published a new book entitled Azuquina to the Rodeo. It's about a young girl that falls in love with a rodeo bull rider, and she runs away with him without telling her family. You can find the New World Mexican Women by Googling New World Mexican Women. And you can ask them about their deals on wholesaling their fine jewelry and all of the other projects that they have going on. If you'd like to have your business or website advertised here and promoted all over the world on dozens of stations every day, give us a call at 800-572-9762 or email oppermanreport@gmail.com. And now back to our show. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. Tonight we are lucky to have St. John Hunt, the son of Dorothy and E. Howard Hunt. He's the author of the book Dorothy, An Amoral and Dangerous Woman. Where is this? Okay, scroll up. Dorothy, a dangerous and amoral woman. The murder of E. Howard Hunt's wife, Watergate's darkest secret. There's a link to that book on the Opperman Report blog and also OppermanReport.com bookstore. Mr. Hunt's going to be at this conference coming up, put on by Trine Day Press. Oswald's Summer of Secrets, New Orleans, and the JFK assassination. This is October 16th to the 18th in New Orleans, right by the airport there at the Crown Plaza Hotel Airport. The website for that is oswaldconference.com. Why don't we really get into the story of your mom, okay? Because your mom was also a CIA agent and also a very savvy woman, just like you said. So what was her CIA career?
Well, she joined, as a matter of fact, Dick Helms, the CIA director during the early 60s, my dad's boss, testified during the Senate Select Committee hearings on presidential campaign activities in 1972. Richard Helms said, in his recollection, Mrs. Hunt had been a CIA employee before marrying Howard Hunt. Now, she worked in Bern, Switzerland, initially for Alan Dulles. I think the cover was, and she may have been his secretary. I'm sure he had many. But she worked, that was OSS at that time. And her work there involved searching and tracking down hidden Nazi assets. And she always told me that, and I thought that was probably a pretty fascinating thing to be involved in. A lot of intrigue and glamour. Bern was a hot spot for the intersection of money, Nazi money, and the rest of the world, because the Nazis, as hated as they may have been at any time, they needed still to purchase things in the open market, and Bern, Switzerland was neutral territory, banking territory, and they kept a lot of their money there. and certainly they kept money there from the extraction of teeth and whatnot from the people they murdered.